All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the live, man. This episode of The Coma, man, is brought to you by and sponsored by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book from the NFL, NBA to college football, and more. FanDuel delivers great odds, fast payouts, and easy to use app that makes every moment more exciting. You must be 21 years older to play. Please gamble responsibly. So if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, get the help them that they need. It's available. But big thanks to FanDuel for sponsoring the Sports Coma. And shout out to you guys. In this episode of the show, we're going to do a live reaction to the Terron Armstead interview with Tyler Shough. The Shuckinator, Chuck Norris. We also shout out to the fam. Y'all hit that like button, man. Big Q in the building. Also, feel free, fam, to know that there'll be merch coming out soon. A new round of merch that'll be coming out soon, probably before February the 1st. All kind of stuff we'll be coming out with. So y'all be on the lookout for the new merch arriving almost in time for spring. Anyway, man, we're gonna react to this. Tyron Armstead's been doing a really good job podcasting. A lot of the former athletes are jumping out of the athletic world into the podcast space. Some of them just sound stupid, but Terron Armstead is actually a guy that knows what he's doing. He's cool. He's smooth with it. He's a natural at doing it, man. So big ups to Terron, man, as well. But, man, let's listen to what he had to say about Tyler Shough. Y'all hit that like button. Here we go.
How does that make you feel?
Honored. I mean, it's kind of mind blowing because of me growing up watching everything that he was to the city and who he was as a player, and it also is kind of motivating because I'm like, man, 4-game win streak, like why not 10 or something? Like why not? Like that's why not more? It's kind of like a lot of the records that were broken, Archie Manning and all these things. It's like such a cool thing because I've gotten to know those people and who they are off the field and what an honor it is. But it also kind of motivates me because I'm like, man, we have so much more to go. It's like I feel like we're just kind of growing that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface as far as a team and at least for me, as a player, I feel like each week I kind of got better and better and still haven't really done anything.
I like it, bro. I like it. Do you have any relationship with Drew? You guys talk quite often?
Yeah, he was really big for me. Kind of midway point through the season, I got to meet him a couple times at training camp. I hadn't really chopped it up with him though, just kind of shaking hands and saying what's up. But we talked and sat down for about an hour or so just over the phone and talked about his process. Talked about I really reached out to him, just because I wanted to pick his brain on, everyone is like, well, he was here 15 hours a day. He was here, Drew, like this legend of Drew Brees. And we talked about the routine, but I wanted to know what his mindset was coming from San Diego to here.
Yeah.
What was his mindset as a younger player, I think, because that's kind of where the stage at in my life is. And he didn't really take over for the Saints until he was 27 or 28 after he'd kind of been through all he had been through. And I kind of, for me, paralleled that to my college journey. And how do you kind of go about earning everybody respect? How do you get people in the building on the off day? And he was such a valuable asset for me just because he's the same people are in the building and he understands what goes on behind it. So, he was a huge asset and hopefully continually. I know we're going to make a trip out to San Diego, all the receivers, hopefully soon.
Oh, wow. That's his thing. That was his yearly offseason operation.
Yeah.
You putting that together?
Right. Yeah. We're going to be putting that together. I think hopefully I got to get him involved in it as well. I think it'll be really fun. Obviously you got CO down there as well already. Yeah. So, you can't go wrong. But still in the works.
He can't throw anymore with his right arm. So
that's what I heard.
He's pretty nasty with the left though. Just like pretty accurate.
Just rocking with it. That's because he was telling me every single Monday they play QB golf and they do all these things. Like he was throwing nonstop. I'm like, dude, I can't believe how much he threw off that shoulder. But, I mean, it worked. It helped me out a lot. Just kind of that process to keeping your body active, keeping your body going, especially through the flow of the season.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad mentor, bro. That's not a bad person to pick his brain to mirror your career after. Drew is a legend. To me, he's the greatest of all time. Didn't always have a top 5 defense like some others. No shot at nobody. Take it how you want, but Drew is the GOAT. Who's some other quarterbacks that you grew up watching?
That's before we move on to that, man. Listen. All you need to do if you are a diehard black and gold person is to mention that your young quarterback that put on one of the most phenomenal rookie performance for a season that we've seen ever is working with the best quarterback the franchise has ever known. You won't talk about, just understanding what that means for Tyler Shough to be working with Drew Brees, learning how to keep his body together, learning the game and the process. That's big time, man. That's big time game now, man. That's big time. So for him to be doing that, man, and understanding what that means, that's huge. That's big on so many levels. Credit to Tyler Shough for doing that, man, because that's true. That's what Drew Brees. That's why he was so good with the wide receivers. And that's the point. The point is, if you want to be great, you got to work hard at it. You got to be working on it when other guys and other people are not working on it, while they sleep somewhere, out playing and all this kind of stuff. You working. That's how you surpass these people. That's how you become great. You don't become great regular. You got to put in the work. The work means doing more than the average person does. When they out playing and gallivanting, you out there, being efficient, working and getting it to a fault and getting it to a T. That's how you march past them. And that's what that is. And now that is encouraging to hear him working with Drew Brees, man, for real.
So I grew up Cardinals fan. I remember meeting Larry Fitzgerald in like a sports authority back in the day. And I mean, he's just the best. I mean, dude had more tackles than he did drops.
For sure.
And but yeah, so I didn't really, that was my team. And then from afar was Tom, and then obviously Drew, just because of like everything that he did. And then now that being able to be closer to it, the impact on the city, the consistency, that really kind of shines through, being able to kind of get to know him.
You're from Chandler, Arizona, went to Hamilton High School. You ever stop by and check out the statue of Cam Jordan when you're in Chandler?
Oh yeah. The statue's still long and living over there.
Does Cam have a statue for real?
He does not. He
Right.
definitely don't. He's just got probably an old black and white plaque up in the walls up there or something. He's got
No, for real.
he's definitely got some shrineage up there for sure. I mean, he was a legend. I remember him and Terrell Suggs.
Sizzle.
He was the OG from Hamilton. Actually a running back growing up, but
No way, was he?
and he was, I think he's still the state leader for rushing yards in Hamilton.
Wow.
And then went to Arizona.
That's
Went to Arizona
crazy.
State and then transitioned to DM. But
That's
Cam's
crazy,
a legend just because of, I mean, he was just texting me the other day about, we just watched the movie and he was asking me how the movie was after his podcast. Like he was just checking in on me, like who he is as a dude. I mean, it's been awesome kind of looking from afar and then now becoming friends with him. It's kind of an unreal world. And then playing blackjack with him the other day,
Yeah.
you're just like, what's going on right now? We just hit blackjack and we're having a drink together and we're hanging out. It's pretty cool.
That's dope. Look at you lighting up. The teammate.
I know, man.
Cam is a Hall of Fame human.
Yeah.
Like,
He
that's
is.
one of my closest friends. That's my brother. From being in the league and pass on and off the field, he's a Hall of Fame human. As a player, as a person, he really is. Would you fund or help fund a Cam Jordan statue in Chandler, Arizona?
For sure. I mean, he's due, especially. I mean, he's got the day here in New Orleans.
He do have that's fucking
He's got a day.
chugging crazy.
It is.
Does have a day,
It's
Yep.
going back to Chandler. Hopefully, probably in 5 years, whenever he retires or something like that, he'll
Retire from where in 5 years?
the NFL. It sounds like it. He said,
No,
"No,
listen.
I gave him some new
5?
life." He's talking. I'm coming back again. We got to get it done. We got to win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, all right, let's
He
do
won
it.
a Super
And I
Bowl,
mean, he hasn't
for
missed a
real.
game in 15 years. I'm
That's
like,
a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean, it's not like he's like, oh man, he's been injured. He's fallen off.
Yeah.
Like, he's just had 10.5 sacks. Like, I don't know. I mean,
5 more though is
yeah,
insane.
I might be exaggerating a little bit, but we can get him a statue. I'd help fund a statue for sure on Arizona Avenue.
That'll be dope. I'm sure Cam would like to. Cam, I got 5 on it too.
Yeah.
I'll put in on the statue. Pay for like a fingernail or something. I got you.
I'll do a dreadlock or something. He can fund the rest.
Yeah,
He's-
he's got plenty.
He's good for it.
He's quite the businessman too. Shug, let's go to your college career, your professional college career.
That's right.
You were there for quite a while. So you start off at Oregon, 2018, 19, you're behind Justin Herbert. What was that like? How was being under Justin Herbert? Did you see his greatness in college?
Yeah. It was the best thing for me because of everyone comes into the college, high school, if you're highly recruited or not, but you think you know what it looks like. You think you're good, and him being 6'6", 240, 245, how smart he was, his preparation, his ability to throw the ball anywhere on the field. And I was like 185 pounds. I didn't know, I couldn't rub 2 coins together when it came from quarterbacking, and I had a decent arm, but he was such a great dude to learn from that aspect. Different personalities, different ways to navigate kind of the team, the quarterback room, but just an unbelievable dude to kind of see what that first round 6 overall pick looked like.
Yeah.
And I kind of got to measure that because I remember sitting behind him like, I don't know if I can make that throw. Being 18 years old, I'm like, oh shoot, that was nice. Till now, going to Tech and going to Louisville, and you're like, all right, that's what it looks like. I'm there.
You can make all.
Yeah, I can whatever it takes extended. So it was great being able to learn from him. And then obviously when he left, competing for the job at Oregon, then COVID hit, and the whole story in itself. But just unbelievable learning.
You guys have a relationship, still talk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Nice. So you take over in 2020 at Oregon. You lead Oregon, the Ducks, to a Pac-12 championship game. You go to Texas Tech. A lot of adversity, broken collarbone, fibula. What was that time like at Tech, dealing with those injuries, dealing with adversity?
I mean, it really made me who I was, because, I mean, you kind of look back and think maybe I was ready to come out at that time playing in this offense, or maybe mentally you're ready or physically.
When you say come out
to the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, not gay.
No, I was just playing, bro. I
ain't got the.
I'm messing with you.
It was great. It sucked overall. It really sucked, because of you have these expectations, and it literally taught me to just be where your feet are and really kind of enjoy the process of what you're going through, whatever that may be, and kind of take it day by day. Because if you think about a big picture of like, I want to get to this step, and it kind of clouds your brain, and you don't really get to appreciate where you're at. And I had the broken collarbone in 2021. We started off 4-0, broke it diving in the end zone, and coaching staff got fired 2 or 3 weeks later. Ended up staying there and competing for the job the next year. Won the job with a couple really good quarterbacks on that roster. Ended up starting elsewhere and at Tech. And first quarter, 2 dudes jumped on my back, and I broke the same collarbone. Tried to play the rest of the drive on it. I mean, I did. I knew what I did. I broke it, and it was rough. So I just remember crying on the field, was throwing in cuts. Like, it was awful, and I was really down. And then kind of came back that same year and finished the rest of the year undefeated. Was feeling great. Won Texas Bowl MVP. Was on the mountaintop. And then going into that next year, this was supposed to be kind of like the last hurrah. We got everybody coming back, and we lose to Wyoming, Oregon in 2 crazy ways. The next game, I'm getting booed off the field after we're up, 30 points to an FCS opponent, and now you're just in the dumps again. You're like riding the roller coaster, and then the next game I get hip dropped and break my fibula into pieces, and everybody was just kind of like, man, you're done. You might as well go out to the NFL and probably hold the clipboard, get undrafted. And it was about 50-50 split, and I kind of knew my chances were slim, but it really kind of lit a fire under my ass. I'm like, screw everybody. Like, I know if I play, I have the opportunity to play, I'm going to make the most of it. And obviously I explained kind of that whole journey to the Louisville coaches, and understood it was just kind of bone breaks and unfortunate timing, and they believed in me and kind of gave me a shot, and the rest is history.
Where does that confidence come from you? Like, where to give you that?
Pause it right there. What's interesting about the whole take with Tyler Shough is him breaking down from point to point, the injury situation over his several-year career, several years in college, playing multiple different teams, dealing with different injuries, the tough mindset. So it's not an idea or a stretch of the imagination to say that the guy is not a tough player, right? Having multiple injuries, fighting through the injuries, refusing to give up on the dream, right? Knowing that I have these skills to pay the bills, I just need somebody to give me a chance. And he stepped in there, man. And listen, like I said, man, doing the scouting, doing for years, man, looking at Tyler Shough, I would have had yellow and red flags to make this pick. Now, listen, I would have taken Tyler. I just wouldn't have taken him with the 2nd round pick, 40th overall. But like I said before, you gamble. Kellen Morris looked at his game and seen, where he came from in college, how they work with him there, and able to put him on game and lift him up. He had the athletic ability. He had the gun for an arm. He obviously has the IQ. His issue is the injury. So you would have to bet on keeping him healthy. That's the thing. And having the reoccurring injuries, he gained the tag as being an injury-prone player in college. And he was a guy that kind of a lot of people was looking, at, but later on. But when quarterbacks started getting pulled down and the Saints said, hey, man, listen, let's make this guy a quarterback. Like I said, it's an ultimate gamble. And like I said before, when you gamble, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. The Saints just happen to win in this scenario, and that's a positive.
I know that if I'm able to just get the opportunity on my feet, I can execute. I can lead the team. Where does that come from?
I mean, there's a bunch of cliche sayings around it, but it comes through time. You don't have the confidence, or you don't have that experience to just trust it if you haven't had lacks of confidence, if you hadn't been through adversity.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks coming out at the time, or in every year, think that, oh, I've been a backup. I've been through so much. Dude, that's like part of the job. Like, what do you, like, it's not that big of a deal. And what I went through, there's been harder things for other people. So it's kind of like understanding your situation and just learning from that. And for me, it was just because I had lacks of confidence coming out of Oregon at Tech, because I had been through adversity, because I'd had to rehab, 3 years straight, because I had people not on any draft boards. I just didn't care what other people thought of me anymore, because I knew I was happy to go out there and have some drinks and food with my O-line every single week. And I was happy to go out there and throw routes. Game day, fuck it, this is fun. You know what I mean? So that's I kind of keeping that perspective throughout that whole process in New Orleans, where you come in, a lot of anticipation, and there's still learning and growth moments. There's still things that you have to keep getting, but continue to get better at. And that's kind of will be the story of the rest of my career.
I love it, man. I love the mindset. You going through that adversity, but having the grit and perseverance to fight back-to-back injuries like that, breaking a collarbone back-to-back, and then breaking your fibula. Like, I'm sure you hit rock bottom
for sure,
to a point to where you didn't know if you ever played a game again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, if I knew if I could play, I was going to make the most of it. But I didn't know. There was times where I don't know if I can walk or run again.
Damn.
I don't know if, and I was just, my wife helping me out through that time, my dog, my family, my coaches, the trainers. I mean, that was my goal, and they helped me kind of just hold that standard, which is be the same dude every single day. It kind of turned into, I mean, as you know, football ends sometimes sooner or later, rather than what you don't know, really. That's kind of the main thing. Yeah. So the biggest thing I learned was people remember how you made them feel, and they remember the kind of teammate that you were, and all the good stuff can happen, after that.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. I love it. I love the mindset. So you pick up the pieces, literally. You put your bones back together. You go to Louisville. You entering this Louisville season as an undrafted guy, injury riddled, all those things. You go and you have your final season there, and you get drafted to the Saints, 40 overall. What was that feeling like? Getting your name called early second round to the New Orleans Saints.
Speechless, really. It was surreal because of the culmination of everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shock because I knew kind of everything that went into that process, and going through the draft process, seeing the guys kind of around me that had come before me, and I knew just kind of sticking to that mentally. But it was unbelievable kind of when I found out it was the Saints, because of I didn't think it was going to be, they had Derek Carr, they had drafted Spencer and Jake, they had all these other factors. Really all my coaches were the Saints at the Senior Bowl. So kind of looking back, it was like, oh, this makes sense.
They were plotting on you.
Yeah, but that was my favorite spot because of Kellen and Nuss and all the quarterbacks in the building and the kind of the future that was building here. And I know the Browns were on the clock, 2 picks prior, and I was like, man, I'm
going to Cleveland.
Yeah, I was like, oof, this might be interesting, because I had a great, relationship and visit all the teams that need quarterbacks, the Giants, and but I was happy for sure when I got picked here. I was happy I didn't get to go up to Cleveland, because I was like, man, this was the spot to be in.
No, you're right. Cleveland is not the spot to be.
Yeah.
Since you brought it up,
you didn't say that with a.
There was a lot of discussion surrounding your draft, particularly the quarterback position. It's a guy named Shedeur Sanders, and he was a big reason for it. A lot of discussion. What was your thoughts and your feel around Shedeur's situation, seeing that you see Cleveland as a spot that could potentially be for you? They ended up taking him in the 5th round. What was your thoughts around his situation?
I mean, for me, it was just a lot of unknown. Once I got drafted, I kind of just blacked out and was happy to be there. So it was surprising overall, because of, I mean, how pre-draft mocks go.
Yeah, the process for sure.
But the thing I kind of knew, and I didn't put any stock into all the pre-draft stuff, because I mean, during this time last year, I wasn't on anybody's draft boards. I probably was the 20th quarterback.
I got you.
And then you turn on the tape and you get to talk to me, and we get on the board. And I think throughout that process, being in those draft meetings with all those guys, you kind of understand that there's differences between everybody. But for me, it's still trying to. It doesn't matter where you get drafted or when you get drafted, as long as you get an opportunity. I think Shedeur has done a great job making the most of it.
For sure.
But I think he's had a great mindset, and I think that was probably the best thing, was to kind of go into it and kind of go work for it, and I think it was obviously with Dylan Gabriel too. I think it was interesting, him getting drafted there. It was obviously there was a lot of questions drafting 2 quarterbacks, but I think they kind of had a plan. And I think for me, like I said, getting drafted to the Saints, I was like full focus. I had Drew Brees, the Mannings text me, Foster Moreau, all these guys like immediately, and I was like, man, this is home for sure.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. So you come down to New Orleans. You go through many.
Let me pause right there for Terron, and that's interesting. He brings the Shedeur Sanders, thinking boxing for a second, question into the fold about what happened with him, and he's right. How Shedeur handled the situation, Kevin Stefanski gets fired. So obviously you still have Deshaun Watson, you have Gabriel, you have Sador up there. The way he handled it, he ain't complain, he ain't fuss. He handled it real G-like, you know. And he earned a lot of people's respect based on how he handled the situation with him and the great Eric Dickerson. Yeah, we played that here on the Sports Coma. Eric Dickerson told me from inside, said the guy, they had a plan operating to tamp him down like that. And of course, there was no investigating of that. You know, it was what it was. But, you know, anybody could see what happened. But the fact of the matter is that how the man handled it, he won a lot of people over in Cleveland. And ultimately, Stefanski gets fired. And now he's with the Falcons and he'll run them in the ground. So anyway, let's finish up. Here we go.
Camp and training camp and all those things. You're not named a day one starter. Spencer Rattler's a starter. What was that process like for you, sitting behind Spence, just, you know, helping out and watching the operation?
Yeah, it was paramount for me because I didn't know what an NFL practice or game, the flow of a game looked like from a quarterback perspective of just managing that. And I think the coaches were really intentional with my process around that. And, you know, I think day one, yeah, I'm always, I want to play no matter what. I feel like I'm going to get it done regardless. But there was so much that I learned throughout that process where it's like you look back and you're like, who knows, you know?
Do you think you were ready day one?
To where I was week 8 or 9, no.
Got you.
Oh,
for sure not.
Got
But
you.
would I have gone in there and competed? Yeah,
For sure.
But it's hard to know. You know, I think everything happened for a reason. We're sitting here right now because I didn't. You know, and
yeah.
I think what I learned throughout camp, what I learned playing against the defense on scout team, what I learned, you know, watching Spencer have success, watching Spencer go through some learning lessons, watching you know his preparation, keeping my preparation the same, and it was great because of I got the opportunity to do that a lot. And I think that was the biggest thing learning from the coaches was if you have the opportunity to and you don't need to start right away, then there's no reason.
Yeah.
Because the NFL is such a volatile business. Yeah,
that's a great point. I'm glad that Tyler Shough said it's a great question by T Stead because a lot of people were bringing this up later on after the season, and I was saying no, he would have, because even though he was neck and neck with Spencer Rattler, what ultimately would end up happening is if he had went in there and bombed out in those games, and good chance he probably was, because the same team that was there when Spencer Rattler was balling when he got his 9 attempts was not the same team with Shough was balling versus when Spencer Rattler was in there. Let's just be honest with you. Not mean certain guys was not playing the same level of football. It wasn't. You didn't see a lot of them guys turn the corner until later on in the year. And credit to Kellen Moore for understanding that. Like, we have not got this system together. The offensive line with Spencer Rattler was not running the ball effectively. Guys were dropping passes that was getting paid a lot of money. There was guys missing blocks. Guys was doing a lot of boneheaded stuff in those first several games, right? And of course, Spencer Rattler was being too conservative. He was overthrowing people here and there. And he was kind of rattled, you know, he was not in a good space with a lot of, you can see behind that line, he wasn't really comfortable either. So as the year went on, and then you could see that they start grasping the concepts because they keep practicing week after week. And you're talking about dozens of practices turns into hundreds of practices where you're running this, you ain't running a million different plays. It's a certain amount of plays that you're running, and then you flip the play and run the opposite way. You see what I'm saying? So if you run to the, have a play where you doing it, you throwing to the left, you basically running the same play, but then you flip flop the play, the next drive to the opposite side. You see what I'm saying? So it's a certain amount, it's a finite, you know, amount of plays that you are running, and the Saints obviously got really comfortable defensively and offensively with those plays. And then you had intel from the players like Tyler Shough when he got in there. What plays I want to run, what plays I don't want to run. We need to get rid of this play. Let's put this play. How about we do this? How we do that? Then you start, even Cam talked about that. You know, Tyler Shough mentioned it too, that he got more insight and started talking, and because Kellen Moore started talking to him, hey man, what you, and that's how it's supposed to be, right? But yeah, I agree with him totally. He would have, even if he would have got the chance to start, but could you imagine if he'd have got in there with them people? They wasn't even blocking worth the damn. They wasn't running the ball. They were dropping the ball. And what if, he get knocked around in there, and then there is no coming back. If he struggles early on, right, and then looking at that schedule, if he struggles early on, you can't go back to him later on in the year. Then it was Spencer Rattler time. You see what I'm saying? So they handled it the correct way. They knew, hey, man, it's close. Let's just go with the experienced guy. And if he struggles, then we'll pivot and go to this guy here. And that way, they bought Tyler Shough a lot of practice time, a lot of time watching guys do what they're not supposed to do, a lot of times just watching and going and building camaraderie with guys that he ultimately would end up playing because all these other guys got hurt. He was playing with scout team guys like Kevin Austin Jr. That's why he started throwing to him the moment he made it into the game when injuries started hitting the wide receiver room. So it happened the correct way. That's the reality. It really did. It couldn't have happened any better way than this. And remember, he would have had more wins if guys would have caught the ball. The Miami Dolphin game, when Chris Olave dropped the wide open touchdown ball, that was a win. The Atlanta game, if Chris Olave would have played, he wouldn't have the stuff. If he was healthy, we would have beat them. So that's 2 more wins added. So like I said, I think it happened the proper way.
I like Spencer, bro. I like Spencer Rattler. I think he'll get a chance
for sure.
To
he should
start.
He should. He's a great dude. He's a great player. He can spin it. He's athletic. Like I said, it's just there's a lot that goes into it. You know?
Sure.
Everybody in the league, I think, everybody can spin it. Everybody can do it. It's kind of circumstantial. It's about having the right mindset,
fit, opportunity, scheme, belief,
for sure.
Yeah, weapons. And yeah, we've seen you go out there with some names that not many people know outside your room, outside the building, and go out and execute. That speaks a lot about you and what you bring to a football team.
Yeah, that scout team was big for him. That's the point. A lot of the wide receivers that we've seen him play with, when guys started getting hurt, scout team wide receivers, scout team offensive linemen that he was working with. So it all worked to perfection, to be honest with you. But outside of that, the Spencer Rattler thing, a lot of people, I've heard Chris Olave say that, Tyler Shough has said that he deserves to start. But the reality is Spencer Rattler will be a New Orleans Saint unless somebody come with a second rounder or something like that, a pick to get him away from us. Because really the Saints don't have any quarterbacks unless they sign somebody. In this NFL world, it's not good enough to have a young, good quarterback. You got to have at least 2 of them. So we're going to hold on to Spencer Rattler. Thank you.
Let's talk about Kellen Moore. You said he was a big reason why you were excited to hear your name get called to the New Orleans Saints. What about Kellen made you excited?
He's the smartest dude in the room, but acts like he's not. He's probably one of the most humble guys being around him. He's super analytical, and he obviously played the position at a high level when he himself wasn't as talented as a guy like Matthew Stafford, didn't have the measurables, but he found a way to get it done. He found a way to stick around the league and become an offensive coordinator at an early age. And he's called it with Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, 3 completely different quarterbacks, and found a way to win a Super Bowl, found a way to have success with each of them. So like that was really interesting for me. I'm like, how did that work?
That's a great point.
How did he do that? And I think they're really exciting.
Good at finding the skill set. I mean, it is like a prototype almost, like of what kind of quarterbacks you can use, and seeing what they do extremely well and incorporating that into your offense, like he did with Jalen Hurts, what he did with Herbert, what he did with Tyler Shough, is knowing what the best plays to get these guys involved to use their best attributes. That's obviously what he's good at. And not only that, but he started off really trash early in this year with his play calling. But credit to him getting later on and getting better with the play calling. Remember, it was too much east to west crap. There's supposed to be a vertical offense. You got 4 guys everywhere, but you're not stretching the field. We're not attacking downfield enough. And ultimately, that changed when we got toward the back end, when you would start seeing them open up and throwing the ball, setting up the running game, all this kind of stuff. So early on, it was a lot of, I get it, it's a lot of east to west stuff because the Saints struggle to run the football, so they have to have the extended run plays and all this madness. But in the end, you can see credit to the offensive line, the backup line. They were able to open up holes, and you've seen balance there. So when the Saints come into this offseason, we got to be able to continue to build up on that. But that is a gift that he used, the ability to adjust and adapt, as opposed to keep doing the same stuff that don't work. So credit to him on that.
Exciting part for fans is this is the first year Kellen's going to be able to actually sit down and have an offseason where he's not moving cities, where he has the same quarterback, where he can kind of tailor the offense to what the front office is and the coach's vision is going
Should
to
be
be.
interesting.
What are we trying to build? What is our run game going to look like schematically
line,
wise? What
yeah.
do we want to do pass game wise with our receivers? So whenever you kind of go to a new spot, you already have the
Gotta
pieces there,
reset.
and you're just kind of asked to mold it around the quarterback, the player. So I think he can have his own vision that
That's
way.
why Atlanta.
Man, that just got me excited for sure. Just thinking about that, that's a great point too. Him being able to just sit still and do homework and really go through the process. That's very valuable.
I mean, just a self-evaluation standpoint. Not that he needed to evaluate anything, but just all of us. Like that's why I feel like I got better every single week because I had a plan and intention to do that. And
That's fire.
when you're playing the game, like I try not to make the same mistake twice because especially if it's critical. Like I'm still sick after the Falcons game.
Right.
After some plays where I could have thrown it away or stepped up and moved. And it's like
see that? You seeing that? What he did? He just took accountability for holding on to the damn ball too long. And that's key because we had veterans that we've been here that we paid $100 million to or whatever, the $30-something million a year, and they sit up here running from accountability. This is a good quarterback.
Doing that, but how can you consistently do that, and how can you shore that up? And for Kellen, how can
I like this guy.
put our players in the right
serious.
position? But that's the type of dude he is, though. Some guys are just kind of like, no, this is my offense, and you guys will fucking run whatever I call. And he's not that way. He's open to everybody.
See, and this is what I was saying before they admitted, because you can see it. If you're a pattern guy like me and you understand how people operate, you know how the system go. You know he is not a tyrannical coach that says, hey, you're going to do what I tell you to do or you're not going to play. I told you he's getting immense insight. That's why the game is shifting. That's why I often use the terminology using the fitting the offense around your quarterback like it's a fitted suit, making your idea or your offense his. And when you do that, then he owns it. That's why you see a lot of the offensive comfortableness from Tyler Shough. Understanding like the biggest issue I have with Tyler Shough coming out of it ain't too many of them, but it's one big searing critique is the fact that he tends to hold on to the ball too long. He mentioned it right there, which means that he's cognizant of the error and looking to improve upon it, which means coming into next year, we should see that less, hopefully a lot less. But at the end of the day, this is great. And you know, when like Kellen Moore, soft-tempered coach, have Tyler Shough here telling them, you know, I want you to do is getting feedback from the offense, and you seen how it looked in the Saints offense later on in the year. It was like night and day.
It's interesting you just made that note, because I was talking to Nick Underhill before we started today, and he was talking about how
Shout out to Nick.
We see something from you one week. Shough he needs to get better stepping up in this moment. And then the next week we see it. And you just talked about that process and how Kellen helps accelerate that process. That's fire.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in my pre-draft meeting, I know he's kind of like quirky and everybody kind of talks to him, but he uses this word growth opportunity. And I think where a lot of people looked at me and my age and coming out of the draft, I had the least amount of starts of all the quarterbacks.
That's
right. I had the oldest age, but I had the least amount of
gamble.
starts. I hadn't played a lot of football.
Still got the oldest age.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
26.
But what does that mean though? I had seen a lot of other stuff and I still had so much to learn, likewise. But for me, he used the word growth opportunity where a lot of other people would see there's not the ceiling's low or
Right.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Like Matthew Stafford's playing, he's 37 right now.
That's not everybody though, Tyler. Yeah, that's Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, but how many of these other guys had the opportunity to play that long? They're in the elite of the quarterbacks. And Stafford has a timeless game. That could be, that's a timeless game. And plus he has the perfect offense, mastered of the offense. He has a terrific organization that continually get the proper players. He got an excellent coach that is a coach that a lot of people just look past. He doesn't get his full accolades, to be honest with you. But all he does is put out teams that compete. And look where they're sitting up in the championship round. So I mean, it's very intriguing and interesting at the same time. But yeah, this is the thought process of scouts. You know that. The scouts look at the age, they look at your injury history, and they look at your body of work, meaning how many games did you play when you played. That's how they measure it. They won't change that because of not saying he's an oddity, but or somebody that didn't fit into it. They're going to play the numbers. They're going to play the percentages because a great deal of the time, the way the scouts scout, or it works, But Tyler Shough he's an oddity. He's different. He had the temperament. And he was able to do some fantastic things. Hell, you had one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever put him on, Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick quarterback from Michigan that they passed on. They took, 10 or so more quarterbacks than they did him, and he surpassed all of them. So every now and again, one get through the cracks. It's not a fail-safe or error-free system, but they're going to play the percentage.
I think he hasn't gotten better from when he was 25, for sure. And
No
Tom
question.
Brady and everybody, quite frankly, unless I understand the some positional narratives about like age and running back or receiver,
Exactly.
the explosiveness. But that's why I love Kellen, because I think he understands that it's a continual growth opportunity.
He
And
looked
it's not like you
past
make a
that on
mistake,
you.
you can fix it. You can
Yeah.
kind of keep getting better at it, and it evolves. So that's kind of what my whole mindset is.
More than any other position, though, to your point, growth opportunity. Like at quarterback, you have to. You have to continue to grow, continue to evolve. Defenses are evolving,
Yeah.
coverages, disguises. The defenders, we got DNs now that look like, you know what I mean? Like
Aliens.
so you have
Yeah.
to continue to evolve. We just seen Phillip Rivers at 96 years old
Yeah.
come and play and look the part too, like, make it happen. So
And that's
at
where
that
that
position.
mental component is obviously important, because you can have somebody like that who's been coaching for 5 years and come in and
That's crazy.
dial it up, and that's where that mental growth comes in. But now there's obviously the physical aspect where you have like Lamar, Josh Allen, and
Yeah.
Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, guys that can extend plays, make something out of nothing. But often, really, the game is won. And if you watch like Patrick Mahomes, the game is won because he's boom, boom, dink, dink,
Get the ball to
and
your
then
playmaker.
boom, and then okay, somebody comes free, and it's like, oh, SportsCenter, this is all he does. And it's like, oh, he's smart, he's great, he's got good
Now he knows the
body
system.
mechanics, and then he makes a great play. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it's trending towards. Like you said, you got guys looking like you coming up like just 6'8", 300 pounds, 4'2".
I used to lock shit up.
That's what I'm saying.
I used to lock
That's why we need guys like you out there. And we got, speaking of, shout out Kelvin and Tolly.
That was my next question. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
guys like me and potentially better.
Mhm.
Me and Ramchek, we were the tackle tandem for a long time. Me and Zach Street first, and then me and Ryan Ramchek. You got 2 guys, KB, Kelvin Banks Jr., and Talise Fuaga.
Mhm.
What can you say about these 2?
I'll start with off the field, because that's probably, I play the position, so it's hard not to love him on the field. But he's probably the most elite level human beings I've ever been around.
Wow.
Kelvin he's 21, 22, and he's 40. Like, he's just an old soul. He'll mess up. I don't care. How can I fix this? He's so level-headed, and that's such a hard thing to find. I feel like, especially with young guys, when you're dealing with
happy
NIL,
with
when you're
the
dealing
left
with a lot of
tackles,
success
man.
early on.
Yeah.
Got to
And
get Tyler healthy.
who he is, I think his understanding and willingness to get better, and then he's a freak on the field.
Freak.
He can
Awesome.
be put in bad positions and recover. He can lock dudes up any type of size, and his run game, his communication. I think that's something that fans don't even necessarily get to see. But his brain, like, he's one of our best communicators on the O-line
Wow.
at left tackle,
Yeah.
communicating to receivers. And then Tolly, he's like freaking, what's the dude from Moana? He's like a
Maui.
dude. He's like a real life god. He's like Maui. He literally, he can shapeshift in different formations. Like, he can go crazy. He's such a raw dude physically, and that's like same thing with him off the field. His mindset, he's like, whatever I need to do. Like, he went from left to right and has had success at both. And you know how hard that
He
can
good.
For sure.
be back-to-back
Yeah,
years
we
going
just
against
need
some
to
of these
get
guys.
Tyler
So,
healthy, man.
I think
Proud
they
of
got
our
bright
tackles.
futures, and I think they're obviously going to be here for a long time. And I think that's the best thing about them is they, Tolly, Kellen, they both have that burning passion to kind of keep going.
I can't wait to see them this year. This offseason, for sure.
Mhm.
I'll spend some time with those guys personally, but I can't wait to see them on the field next year.
Mm-hmm.
The growth, the steps they're going to take, the experience that they just got from this past season, knowing who their quarterback is now and
Can we
where
hire
you'll be in the
Terron
pocket and
Armstead
the place
as a
the place you'll like to
offensive line
escape
coach?
the pocket and all those things.
Mhm.
Like offensive
I can't
line
wait to see that.
assistant. Can
No,
we,
no doubt.
can
And
we
I got to
hire
do a
him?
better job of helping those guys out. I hoed Tolly 2 times last game where it's not really.
Oh.
Yeah, he's balling, and all those guys are. And a lot of the sacks, they're not on them. I can find ways to continue to get better. And like you said, I think they're gonna be really good. I think having those bits and pieces, getting guys like Eric and C's and having those veteran presidents as well, it'll be good.
That's dope, man. Your accountability is top tier.
I'm
You're
telling
taking
you,
credit for all
sacks.
things, all the negative things, which is
Right.
you don't have to, but
Well, I touch the ball every play, and that's why I love playing it. I love playing the position, and shit, tackle's a tough position in the O-line.
yes, it is.
You lock somebody up for fucking 50 snaps, and you get beat once or twice, and it's like they get a fucking NFL player of the game or whatever, and it's like,
No,
I locked you up 50 times.
facts.
And that's a tough position. That's why you have to be so strong mentally.
This guy understands us.
And then for me,
Understands us.
I fucking roll out and I don't throw the ball away and take a 2-yard loss. Like, what am I doing? Just stuff like that where you're like, that's on me. but there's other plays where you go make plays, and but
Tyler's a cuss
stuff doesn't need to be
ass.
said. It's part of the job, and that's why you love those guys. So,
hey, listen, this guy, it's done. I'm coming back. I'm blocking for him. I'm coming back to block for him.
was it turn up?
I got 2 snaps.
How old are you?
You got 2
34.
snaps.
Oh yeah, you're good.
You got
I'm
2
not.
snaps.
You're straight.
I'm washed.
How old is Trent Williams?
Trent like 38. It's healthy. I had an injury. Like you had your injuries at Tech. That's like
Just put some metal in you, get a ketamine shot, and you'll be straight or
Some
something.
metal.
I think I need a little more
They're
than
locking-
that, bro.
We're sitting here at Vandal actually. And
Yeah,
just
shout out Vandal.
put a little something in there, and you just get juiced up for the
I
game.
don't think anything here at Vandal.
You can need some stuff from
Yeah.
Oshner.
I need Elon Musk to make a knee for me.
Why not? You got all the money, man. You can
I don't. I did all right.
you can do it.
Nothing compared
you
to
did
what
more than all right,
we're
bro.
not even going to fast forward to.
Yeah, no,
Quarterback money is different.
for sure. I think
Like by Vandal.
that's like the coolest part, especially with college nowadays. Like my whole goal is to just be good enough in the NFL to coach someday and then get fired. Just make like $100 million. Just be like, you know what, I'm done. Then they just fire your ass,
That's fine.
and then you just like, I ain't gotta do this anymore because teams are paying out coaches for.
to get rid of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, for real. Chris Olave, he has a situation coming up financially.
Indeed.
How do you feel about that guy as your top target playmaker? I'm sure you'll love to see him around. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, getting to know him now and obviously understanding everything that he's been through to this point, you wouldn't have known. Like he's the same dude coming to work every single day that I respect so much, and then he has that playmaking ability on the field that you're just like, why don't we just throw him the ball every single play? I mean, he's open,
Yeah.
you know, and his ability to get open on every single route from the slot, from the outside, he's just a playmaker. So I think the best part is like I had no chemistry with him to start because I wasn't really getting any reps.
Yeah.
And
Easy.
kind of coming into it and then just being thrown into the fire and kind of just trying to dial it up, and then you start to hit that stride. You start to understand his body language, what he kind of likes,
Okay.
and then you start to you see that production later on.
I got you. Who's a guy, a weapon that you're excited about, that you see his talent, you see his playmaking ability, but the masses don't necessarily, we haven't paid much attention to him. Who would you want to bring that attention to?
Yeah, that's tough because, there's so many guys you don't know who necessarily, we might add or leave, but at least for sure that I know that we're going to ride with. I think the growth and expansion of Devon Vele and Jalen Polk as well. I think those guys have kind of been under the radar.
fishes with
Vele
Jalen
obviously
Polk.
kind of as of late with his production and his catching ability. But Jay Polk,
Yeah.
I mean, I see him watching film by himself when I'm in there, and he don't need to be there. He's not
Dude
even
gonna
playing
be
right now.
good.
He's on IR. He's
Good.
grinding. He's working every single day. I'm actually going fishing with him and John Lafitte on Monday. A couple of staff members like we're shit like that. You're like he wants to be here. Same with Vele. He's like, I mean, one of the greatest dudes. That's why I feel like people don't understand like Mickey in the front office, like they like their vision. I feel like it's kind of culminating. All these guys are not only like elite level players, but they're the right dudes in the building that like want to contribute,
Super important.
want to be there. And I feel like that's so vital because you want to be around each other. You want to have success together.
That's extremely important. And Mickey does not take that lightly.
No.
The right guys.
Yeah.
Not just the sexiest names or the most notable, but Mickey is for sure. And that was a Sean Payton thing too. The right 53. They talked about that all the time. You guys feel like you're building the right culture here?
I do. I think you've seen it with our draft class, with everybody that's kind of contributed this year. Devin, Quincy, Danny,
That's what I like.
Vernon for that first game, and his future,
what I'm
obviously
talking
Kelvin, and you got Mo and Fadil and all these guys, and Jonas. I mean, speaking of like
Sanker.
all these guys that are balling from an early age, and then you factor in everybody that's still on the roster, who we can get, and I think it's exciting because of, like you said, you're getting the right guys in here who also have the talent, and who knows.
You're from AZ, moved around quite a bit though. Oregon, Tech, Louisville. What's it like being in New Orleans? How's the city been treating you?
So far, so good, man. I think you kind of come right into it, and you don't really. I mean, I've been able to go out on these O-line dinners and go try new spots, but I haven't been really to kind of experience everything yet. And obviously, you're at the facility most of the days. But I'm excited to kind of just be here when it's not hot as hell. Coming in when it's
About
not
a month or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now it's kind of nice. But it's good. It kind of reminds me of Louisville a little bit. It's about 1 million people. I feel like it's got some cool, little sections. You got your parishes, different kind of vibes.
Stay out a few of those wars now.
Yeah. I haven't been down there too yet, but I know like you got your different areas that if you want to go do something, there's anything you can do from a food perspective, entertainment.
Yep.
But most of all, I feel like everybody's really nice. So
This is a city I can share. You love this city, it'll love you back 10 times. You pour your heart out to the city, not from your words, but your play. Like they feel the energy that you want to win for them. You want to represent them. Because the Saints mean more to this city than 99% of teams elsewhere.
Yeah,
That's
you can feel that. You can feel, like you said, that's a good point. Just like how your play style.
Yeah.
And, I think one thing, like I don't ever want to be a dude that's using my words or coming off fake whenever you're around the community. Like, I want people to understand how I play and then showing up for things. Like, that's what means the most. Like, and I've kind of seen that from Double D and Cam and all those guys who have kind of been there. So that was great for me to kind of see from an early age, where you kind of just have other situations and other teams where you're kind of forced to do these things around the community, and there's not really like a market for that. But I feel like here it's everything. Everybody's genuine. For sure.
They're gonna tell you how they feel. Very vocal.
Yep.
Online and in person.
That's right.
So Walmart or anything, any place you go.
Yeah,
that's right.
You get ready to be coached up.
That's why I seen our guy over here. He got a just random T-shirt at like Rouse's or something like that, or Home Depot. They're just passing out just random Shough shirts, random Saint shirts just for free. I'm like, man, I gotta get one or something.
Shout out Blue Oak Barbecue.
Yeah, there you go.
Go check that out, people, please. So with Kellen Moore and entering the second year together, early your first few starts, I felt like as I'm watching film, he had some training wheels on you, some restrictions on play calling. The last 4 or 5 games, I feel like he gave you the keys. Do you feel the same way? Like it was some more safer play calls, and then as the trust level and confidence, you opened up the play. He opened up the playbook more. Or am I tripping?
No, I don't think you're tripping. But
I know I'm not tripping.
I don't know if it's opening up the playbook is the right term. I think obviously when you're coming in, starting from an earlier age, and even with Spencer starting and me starting earlier, like it's obviously not the same as year 3 with Dak Prescott or year 2 or 3, whatever that looks like. There's levels to the growth and maybe understanding of the offense. So yeah, and I think you're coming in and you're playing 2 really good teams right away.
Yeah.
That understand that. So I don't. It hadn't looked drastically different, but I think it's just kind of been me understanding what we're trying to do on this play call. And yeah, there was a little bit more quick stuff here and there to start, just kind of more vanilla to kind of clean up the reads. But I think that's kind of for me just having that growth, earning some more of that trust to handle the protections, the run game, different pass checks, stuff like that. To where, I mean, defenses are so good nowadays, you're not gonna always know, but if you can attack it in the best way that you can, that's the world that you kind of want to live in.
I love watching you operate quick game. I think it was a stretch against Tampa, probably 13 play drive, and you probably hit 7 different receivers. That shows me process. That shows me like you doing work pre-snap. I love to watch you operate quick game, because we have seen in your early career you do the extended plays and make plays down the field. So I love to see that, just personally as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
What's your relationship like, and what this guy brings to the offense with AK, with Alvin Kamara? You haven't had much time with him. Did you have any games with him while you were starting?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I can't remember the exact number. It's probably like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a bunch.
Not much.
Seeing obviously him from afar, like growing up, but seeing him close up, just his one cut explosivity, his smarts, who he is as a person throughout the off, like he's just elite that way. Like there's some of that stuff like we were talking about, like you just can't really teach.
Yeah.
Like there's different. So I mean, he's just elite that way. So I'm excited to kind of be able to have a full offseason to kind of work with him and understand, what he likes. And I think same thing with the coaching staff and kind of, building that more and utilizing him in the pass game and all those things.
Sure.
Right. I feel like we could have done a better job of doing that for him, because that's kind of, I mean, half of his game and what he's really elite at.
Big part of his career.
So I think for him, I think he's really due for a big one, because he's still got all the talent. It's all the same, and he's just got now that mental experience, and it was probably the first year in his career you having a new offense. And
yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, and you're trying to, how do you tailor it around a Lamborghini? You got to, sometimes you just got to let it go. And but I think for the coaches and for him, like it was able to do for me, kind of understand that I think there's going to be kind of that meshing this offseason where you can kind of see him take off.
I like it. I won't keep you much longer. Probably got 1 or 2 more for you, Tyler. Is there any, and I'm sure of your answer, but is there any concern of a sophomore slump? We've seen it with quarterbacks that have had success as a rookie. Second year, not as
you got to hit the summer.
Decorated, having some challenges, whatever goes into that. Is there any concern of a sophomore slump?
Well, I've only played 8 games. So no, I mean, I think for me, it goes back to my process, and it goes back to the preparation. I mean, I think it's just I'm gonna keep growing. We're gonna get more reps at it. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, but I don't know. I think you could ever go into a season, into a year where you're concerned about any narrative from that aspect. I mean, you look at like Bo Nix right now, who's
number 1 seed.
Yeah, like this is his sophomore year. You look at other guys that have been
That's the
playing well in year
process.
2, 3, or 4. I mean, it's all kind of, it changes. And I think depending on what offense you're in, the circumstance, the guys you have around you, there's a lot of factors. And I think we have those key pieces that we can kind of continue to add. And but for me, no, I'm excited to kind of keep going.
Yeah, that was more of a fan question, and you see it on X. They talk about sophomore slumps or Madden curses, kind of built-in narratives. You know what I mean? But one thing that I'm learning from you and I'm gaining from you, your mindset and your approach to all of it. You're not worried about anything because you've been through adversity, you've been through hard times, you've been doubted before, you've been told what you can't do. So the chip that you have on your shoulder is visible. Like I can actually see your motivation and your drive.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people weren't happy when I was drafted here. I didn't really care because I knew if you start playing, then that may change. If I play bad, that may change. If I play good, like it's a slippery slope regardless. Like like I said before, I freaking love practicing. I love going out there throwing pat go. I love going to go eat with the guys. I love contributing to the community. I love doing it. Like we're going to win games and we're going to hopefully win Super Bowls. And that's part of it. But like, you can't get tied up into people's opinions or all that stuff because it's so, it's so dysfunctional that
they won't stop.
Yeah.
They won't stop. Like,
and that's not like a knock on fans or people. It's just part of it. You know what I mean? So it's, I think that's
Got
part
a
of
great
you have
understanding of the game, man.
You have to fall in love with the other side of the game. And for me, I was able to do that. Like I love going and destroying my body in the weight room, throwing shit around, doing smelling salts. Shit like that, where I'm like, let's get after it, and then
This guy crazy,
and then you get to reap the rewards on game day. All those things where you can't get tied up into it. I think that's why you yourself have had success, and now as a media personality, all these things you have to kind of stir those conversations.
Yeah,
but, behind the scenes, you understand, you kind of have to go into it with that steady mentality.
Gotcha, for sure. Circling back, right, really quick. You were like at the start of the NIL world of college, and I'm sure you made a nice amount of money on it from the different universities.
Nah,
not much.
I mean, not like they are now. Holy shit,
they getting paid.
Yeah, that's insane. They're making
like somebody grandpa
backup money. $5-6 million.
Damn.
I mean, some of this I don't know if that's true or not, but you see it posted all over. But for me, I had the first 3 years with no NIL, so I kind of had that humble mindset where I was getting $1,000 a month for per diem and riding my bike to workouts at 6 a.m. in the morning. Thankful I got my grandpa's like old school car, Lincoln Navigator or whatever. Like, and then now you get, go to Tech and you get like $5,000 and you're like,
I'm rich.
Where are we going? What we got? And then you get to play at Louisville that last year. And but even then, revenue sharing wasn't even around yet. So that's kind of been a whole new world this year. But
I got you.
It's such a blessing, and I think it's obviously a really cool thing for people to make money off their name. Obviously it gets kind of sticky with some different universities and stuff like that. But
you had an NIL deal with a jewelry company, and you took that NIL deal and you proposed to your wife with that company from the NIL deal. How was that process? How did you make that happen?
Yeah, wasn't necessarily didn't go exactly like that. It was more they just offered a discount for it, and then you just tag them on social media. I think some like newspaper just kind of ran off with it. Like this guy got a ring for free through this deal. I'm like, man, I wish, but no, I wanted to get something nice for her, and it was just kind of like, hey, we're gonna do this custom, and if you just tag them, then we'll give you a discount. Cool. And so it was fun being able to kind of do that. But that's kind of the stuff where you want to propose that you're at a young age, and it helps out a lot whenever you kind of have that aspect of it.
You can still use that discount if
I'm trying to get whatever you're wearing right now, dude. You let me hold some money or something. Like what?
Hey, you
on your wrist. You can see it shining in the light too. I got like a Whoop band on. You can see his rookie contract money right here.
You got NIL money. I went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. So you said you got $1,000 a month?
Well, yeah, I mean that was when I was at Oregon. I got a little bit more at Tech and Louisville, but nothing like Telvin Banks or anything like that, or nothing like nothing like these young guys now.
I'm sure Banks was getting broke off at Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
Broke off.
He got drafted first round. It's probably like, man.
Right. This is a pay cut.
No, we're not pocket watch at KB. We know you have money. But...
I'm pocket watching for sure. I am for sure.
So you got nothing at Arkansas Pine Bluff? They wasn't throwing
I owe money.
They pay you in like trees or something there. They just pay you in pines.
Fried chicken. For whatever reason, had an unlimited supply of fried chicken. So that's about
where was it at?
It's in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So it's about 45 minutes south of Little Rock. Okay. It's in the middle of nowhere, like literally middle of nowhere. It's a paper mill, so it stinks.
They just got the one fried chicken spot that you just like.
I got a lot of fried chicken.
Come eat here, whatever.
But no, we
talk about how I don't know what it is. I mean, I kind of know what it is, but why is Popeyes better here than than Arizona.
You ever heard the term home cooking?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the home. It's the base of.
Yes,
I feel like
different
this is the
recipe.
first time I've seen Cane's, Popeyes, Waffle House like packed.
So you're becoming a household name. So you won't be able to like really walk into these places. But if you walk into Popeyes and you look back there and you see who's cooking,
Yeah.
auntie, you feel me?
It's fire.
Unc man back there. Now you go to Popeyes in Oregon. That's why it's
Some
different.
seasoning on.
Please.
Chipotle is better here too. Everything is. You know it's fire when the lady's like, "What do you want?"
What you want?
What you want?
Yeah, not what do you
No, like just attitude. What you want?
shit about to be hidden.
Yeah, she's like, I already know what you want. What do you want? Double chicken.
That's the difference. The people that's Popeye. You go to Popeyes here, they think hands dirty. Food about to be amazing.
No.
You go to Oregon, they weighing the seasoning. I don't want that.
For sure.
No, don't want that. All right, Tyler, I got to get you out here, man. Again, I really, really appreciate you for joining the set. Like I say, you are helping my channel. I cannot express how excited I am as a Saint. The Who Dat Nation and all the people that exist in that world are excited about you and what you're bringing. We have not just hope, but like it's real. We see what you're bringing. We see the direction of the team. People are getting off Mickey's back for once, and Mickey is a guy that can see the big picture, bro. He does not respond or react to narratives or hard times or adversity. Like Mickey is stone cold face, and he goes about the process. And he wants to bring the right guys in. Love Mickey, trust him here.
Shout out to you.
Any words you will give to the Saints fans, to Who Dat Nation, to prepare them for what's coming.
I think you got to check out the podcast. I think we've covered everything at this point, as far as from the vision of Mickey and the staff, the people that we're bringing in, the explosiveness of all of our guys coming back from injury, who we're going to add in the draft and free agency, who's already coming back that we've traded for. I think, like you said, it's exciting, and because we have that mindset that we haven't done shit, because we haven't. We're last in the division. Fuck that. Like that's where, to me, we're all motivated that way, and we're that close from being in the playoffs, that close from ending it, the right way. So how do we kind of get over that hump and continue to move forward? And starts with me and starts with my sense of urgency and my preparation. So I'm looking forward to continue to do it. Hopefully we can hop back on the pod again or connect and whenever your 1,000 cribs and cars or whatever you got and just let me some of those shoes or $1. I'll be grateful. So thank you.
I can't wait till we revisit, bro, 4 years from now, and you just got commercials and billboards and just so much money.
I'll be wearing this Whoop band and probably this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
4 years
Yeah,
to be
right.
30, so you probably ain't lying either.
Let's shuck and go, man. I appreciate you again, bro. It's T-Stead with the set. On every Monday, we're live. Every Thursday, dropping some fire. This episode right here with Tyler Shough is going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. Shout out to the New Orleans Saints. Shout out to you, T-Shough, and we are out.
Shout out to T-Stead, man. This is a good interview, and Tyler Shough is a funny dude, man. He's kind of crazy, but it was a good interview. We learned a lot, but his temperament, like toward the end, he says, "What the hell did we do? We didn't do anything. We did bad." I like that, and I think good things are happening. We just got to keep on mashing on. And I told you they'd be listening to the Mickey and everything and all this kind of stuff. And Mickey Loomis did really good. Oh, that's right. God damn it. Give me my credit. I ain't hold on now. God damn it. But at the same time, I'm going to give the Who Dat Nation a credit because it was the Who Dat Nation that put that smackdown on Mickey's tail to make sure he get rid of that Dennis Allen character. Mickey would have not gotten rid of Dennis Allen if it wasn't for the Who Dat Nation putting pressure on him. So he fired him. He was forced to fire, and he reset properly. He did a good job. So I'm going to give the Who Dat Nation their credit. I'm going to give Mickey Loomis their credit. I call that balance. But they're doing a good job. They winning the game. That's what we talk about. Getting Tyler. Now we have to protect them. We have to give them a balanced running attack, and we got to keep adding to the defense, and we got to improve our special teams. That's a lot to say. And like he said, we're at the back of the division. We gotta march and do better. But anyway, man, that's the reaction to Tyler Shough and T-Stead's great interview. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on social media. Big Q and the reaction. Shout out to the Patreon champions and the YouTube membership family. For you guys on this Tuesday, listen, I'm gonna tell you what, fam. We got another mock draft coming for you on TSC Patreon, and at 5 o'clock Tuesday, 5 o'clock today, the releasing of the On Cue with Big Q Part 2 of the Oil Wars continue. That is available to only our Patreon champions. That's our news channel that we got going on. A lot of content, all kind of stuff we share over there. I mean, dozens of videos, and I mean, literally dozens of lot content available. But it also, Patreon helps the stream, and what you guys doing by joining the channel helps continue the growth of the platform. As you can see, a lot of the growth that you guys are seeing is because of your investment in becoming members and Patreon champions, YouTube memberships. Purchasing the merch helps goals to continue to further build up the platform and represent the mighty Who Dat Nation in the correct way. Amen. Amen. All right. Also, shout out to FanDuel as well. FanDuel, as I've said earlier to start the show, this episode of The Coma is proudly sponsored by FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book. From the NFL and NBA to college football and more, FanDuel delivers great odds, fast payouts, and an easy-to-use app that makes every moment more exciting. You must be 21 years and older to play, and please gamble responsibly, right? So big thanks for FanDuel for supporting the show, and big shout-out to you guys for your endless support for the Sports Coma and the TSC media network. So with that being said, man, we're going to get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm going to holler at you on our Wednesday stream. Much love, peace.
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.